Hey there, everybody. It is I, Waddles. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome, and today I will show you how to make a cave spider grinder in Minecraft. Now, this should work across all, versions across, like 1.11, 1.12, etc. And then on the PC, PS3, all the versions. I'm doing it on PC if you wondered. And as a note, I do not claim to have invented this design. I just wanted to do a tutorial in my style. I will link some videos in the description that inspired this or did this before me or whatever. And remember, if you enjoy this at any point, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Got any questions? Drop it in the comments. So before I get into the tutorial, I will show you your supplies. You're going to need a chest, between 1 and 6 hoppers-ish. It kind of depends on how you do the design, but at least 1 hopper. You need at least 1 trap door, maybe a little more, again, depending on how you do the design. I prefer iron. You need water. You're going to need staircases, slabs, and some signs. You will get staircases and slabs from digging out the whole room. Then, of course, you need a spawner. So go find yourself a mineshaft. Find a spawner. Alrighty, so once you find these spawners, they're not that hard to find if you find a mineshaft. What you're going to want to do is light it up, clear it all out. So I suggest to work your way inwards towards the spawner. Remove the spider webs with a sword. I'm assuming you're doing this in survival. Remove them with a sword or some shears if you have it. And just get light. You want to stop the spawns. Alright, so once you got it all cleared out, lit up, you're going to want to do digging. So this is kind of step 2 now. You want to clear out around this spawner. I typically go 4. This is the design I always use. I go 4 on every direction on the x-axis. So here is 4 in every direction. You could go 5. Put a slab on top of this spawner, by the way. It'll stop spiders from kind of idling up there, or as many. The spiders can stand on the slab, but just put a slab up there. Now what you want to do is you want to go 3 or 4 above the spawner as well. So this is 1, 2, 3. I usually go 4. You want to give them as much room to spawn as possible. So go 4 above, go 3 if you're short on supplies, but I suggest 4. Another little tip is while you're digging this out, you're going to start getting dark spots higher up. So make sure you just throw torches on the wall. It doesn't hurt. It's not necessarily always necessary, but torches don't hurt right now. Alright, so now that we have above and all the way around the sides cleared, you're going to want to dig down. I do 3 down underneath the spawner in a giant square, but don't forget about the torches. You're going to knock the torches off the floor. Move them to the wall. Make sure you don't let it go dark because that could be very, very bad. I've made that mistake a lot of times when I'm making this thing, and I end up getting killed. Okay, so 3 dug down. That was step 2. Now step 3 is more digging. What you're going to want to do is go to the front of this box. The side doesn't matter. So I'm going to choose this side as the front over here that I'm floating at. And you're going to want to dig down. Now, if you did different measurements, like if you decided to dig 5 away from the spawner just to make it a little bigger, this is where it may vary a little bit. Now that the trench is dug, you want to find the middle 3. Alright, so taking those middle 3, you're going to want to dig it out like this. You have this lower trench here, but now you want to take those middle 3 and go even lower, just like I did there, and dig it forwards, maybe dig it forwards about 6 or so blocks. Doesn't quite matter how far you go, because this is going to be going into the room where you're going to stand to kill these beasts. Alright, so now what you want to do is take that hallway that you just dug and start digging out a room. Make a room, make sure you leave at least 2 or so blocks in between this new room and the spawning chamber. But just make a room for your grinding. Doesn't really matter what dimensions, just however big you'd like, but make sure you leave 2 blocks in between the spawn room and your grinding room. Alright, so this is the actual grinding part of the video. This is how you're going to want to trap these things. You need your staircase and your slab. So come out 3 from where the trench drops. You see, give 3 blocks in there. Put the staircases like this, and then throw your trapdoors on top. Again, could be wood, but I choose iron so you don't accidentally hit them. Then take slabs and go like that. So this little gap right here, the spiders cannot get through. Poison spiders are insanely hard to grind, because if you did that little gap there, they would get right through. So the trapdoors stop them, but you can still swing in and hit these guys. Now make sure there's no holes on top of it. Of course, you don't want to accidentally let spiders into your room. Now go around back into the room. So dig, just a little cut through the wall to get into the room and fill that back in. So this all looks like this now, so you can't get in there. Now it's water time, so just fill all of this in. If you dug 5 back or any other number, you can do tricks with like putting the water there and then digging a little lower to make the water fall or whatever, or using signs, but you want to let the water go all the way to your trench here. So if you did different measurements, use sign tricks or whatever to get the water to end over here. Now you're actually going to take some signs and throw them in. You don't have to put any letters on them, whoops. And then you're gonna turn around and we're gonna place our hoppers in here. So what I do is I put the middle one facing out, towards the middle, and then the other one's aiming right into it, like that. Now swing back around to this room, throw the chest out, make sure you can open it. You should be able to. Then go back in here, and then now that our signs are here, we can put the last water. So water there, and then water like that. So everything is going to be pushed this way to the front. Now go back into your spawner room, close up any other mine shaft exits if you haven't done that already. Make the room solid, and then you can start punching out torches now. Now this part is really tricky to do if you're in survival, and I suggest to start with the back of the room. Get rid of the back torches and anything up high first, then work your way back with the water. Slowly let the water push you into this room like this. Then close up the room. Now the rates of this thing will be different depending on how much you want to light up around the mine shaft. I suggest you go and light everything up as much as possible within 250 blocks of this square, wherever you're standing within your spawner. Light everything up. That will allow for the best rates, but now these things are trapped in here. So you can swing at them and kill them. Maybe you set up an enchantment setup down here to get yourself a better sword to kill these things, but whatever, it's safe now. Now there is a minor disclaimer though. If I am in survival mode, so we're in survival, these things are poisonous, as you very well know. Do not stand right against it or you're gonna get poisoned like that and knocked back. The trick is to stand a little further back, where I'm standing here, and just swing at them like that. Don't worry about the XP. I'll show you how to do that. But stand back and kill these things. Do not stand along the edge of this thing. To get the XP, this is what I like to do. To get the XP, this is my little trick that I figured out. I haven't seen it in any other tutorials, or maybe I missed it or whatever. But dig down right next to the chest. If you stand forward, you get all of that XP. Now, there wasn't that much in there right now, but if you let these things pile up, there gets to be a fair amount of XP, and you could heal your mending tools pretty easily. Just kill these things. The drops should be going into your chest, and then the XP, go right here, because it goes right through the staircase block, which is kind of nice and a little easy to get it. So now let me swing on over to my survival world. I'll show you one of these things in use. We are now in my survival world. This is my Let's Play world, so if you're curious to see me setting this thing up, it is around episode 6, 7, 8, that whole area. This is a double spawner, so the design is slightly different. There's another spawner in here. There, you can see it. So the design is slightly different. It's a little fancier with redstone, so I can push these things forward, but it's amazing. I've been using this thing. I've got a Sweeping Edge 3, Bane of Arthropods 4 sword, which just annihilates these things. And then I use the piston to push them forward because my little thing that they go into is 2 blocks wide. But it works insanely well, and then eventually I'll get mending on this Sweeping Edge Bane of Arthropods sword, and then all will be good. This thing is my favorite spawner in this world. And so with that, that is the whole tutorial. Now, of course, it's up to you to make this thing look all nice and fancy as you wish. Maybe throw some staircases in here so you can walk on down, grab that stuff. Maybe you could expand the chest. I like to throw an enchantment setup near these things because you're going to get a lot of XP. And then, of course, staircase out of here. You probably don't want to live in this little hermit hole down here. And one other little trick is if you really were annoyed with the poisoning, you can get a cow down here and a bucket and milk the cow with the bucket when you get poisoned. Drink the milk, solves the poison. But yep, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If this tutorial helped you or anything, leave a like on this video and maybe even subscribe. I've got a lot of other videos and then another channel. It'll be on the end slide. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you out. I will see you around. This is Waddles. Bye-bye.